Hello everyone, I am Morgan. I work as a software. Can you hear me all right? Yes, I have a mic, yeah. Okay. Hello. I am Morgan Bazaljet. I'm a software developer at Gno. Today with me, I'm together with Manfred and also working on the project at Tomase, Zuma, and Albert. Who can help you if you need any problems today with the workshop. So what we're going to do is that we are going to do a brief introduction of our project, of what we're doing. For those, if you just joined in on the workshop without knowing what we do, we're essentially a layer 1 blockchain. We are developing this blockchain with a programming language as well and our own VM, so we're not based on either EVM or anything else. The programming language we're using is based on Go, as I assume you've read. Yeah, we'll need some working proficiency with Go, but not too much will be necessary. So the first step for the workshop that I'll need of you today is to go to our repository for today's workshop. Actually, just our getting started repository. So if you scan the QR code, you'll get straight to the repository, but I assume you don't program with your phones. So if you want to copy the link, there's a link down here. So it's github.com/gno.lang/getting-started. Once you've done that, there's the link still at the top here if you need it. So if you scroll down to the README, you will find a button to open the project on Gitpod, which will get you set up with the working environment and as well as the tutorials directories. I meant to open this in a new tab. Here we go. So once you create, you may need, I'm already logged in this case, you may need to log in with your GitHub account. Just do whatever, the service is free. So you can just get started with that and continue. And within a few seconds, it should spin up your working environment inside a web Visual Studio Code version. And yeah, then I suggest you to go on GitHub in another tab and start from 001, where there's the first tutorial, to use the GNO command line tool. Again, after this, I will shut up for a second, so you can get started with this and also inspect the first file we'll be looking at. And I'll pick up shortly if you have any questions. Manfred, Thomas, Zuma, and Albert all speak French if you're French speakers. I don't, so please only talk to me in English. But yeah, if we need anything, we have a great teacher-to-student ratio in this workshop, so if you need any help, just ask away. Okay, so I assume that you'll manage to set up your Gitpod instance. So we are now going to go forward. I assume also you had the chance to take a look around the Gno.land tool. So just as a quick recap, this tool is used mostly for running and developing GNO code. So if you, from the main directory, go into the GNO CLI directory, so 001, here we have hello.gno and hello-test.gno. As an example of something we can do here, we can run a GNO test, and it will succeed. If we add verbose as a flag, it will also give us, show us that what's running is actually the test sum, which is defined like in hello.test.gno. But we will see this further in another tutorial. So the second part of this workshop today is going to be about how to use GNOkey. So being a layer 1 blockchain, we have kind of two parts to this workshop today. We have the blockchain part, and we have the programming language part. In the sort of environment that we've set up for you, if you go here, you can see that there are a bunch of other programs running at the same time as this one. One is for the Gno.land node, so that is for the blockchain node. One is for GNO Web, so this is for the website that you see running. So this is an example of from my Gitpod instance. And then finally we have the main terminal we will be using to do our tests. Then if we go, if you go here to the second directory, so 002 GNOkey, you can find instructions on how to set up your wallet. So in a normal scenario, like on the real on the real blockchain, eventually you would like set up your key and your wallet personally and start from 0 tokens. But since we are just testing things out and playing around, you can import the test1 wallet. So I'm going to do that right here. Oh, so I guess, okay. I'm just going to copy this one. You can simply press enter to avoid entering any passphrase. And then you can type in or copy and paste the mnemonic that is on the screen. The reason why we're doing this, using this specific mnemonic, the reason for this is that it allows us to have a lot of tokens directly. So on Gno.land, like many other blockchains, including Ethereum, to do any kind of transactions, you need to have gas. You need to pay gas or do some kind of payment to the smart contract. So that's why we're using test1. The test1 wallet has 10 to the power of 13 tokens, which will allow us to do everything we need to do in this tutorial. Then after that, I encourage you to scroll down. Also create a personal wallet. And then I encourage you to do your first transaction on your local blockchain. So it will just entail copying this command. If you copy this and it succeeds, and hopefully it should, of course, the problem of doing live workshops is that you never know if it's going to break or not. But if you do that, you should be able to then go on the website, go on rdemo/boards, and testboard, and you should see your first post published right about here. Welcome. So with this, I invite you to do this part of the tutorial before moving on to the next part. For those of you who have just joined us, if you'd like to follow along, there's a QR code and an URL down there that you can put in your browser to sort of follow along on the tutorials we're doing. Today we're just going on an overview of the project that we're building, so a layer 1 blockchain with a corresponding programming language based on Go. Otherwise, we'll proceed on with the next part in a few minutes. If you need any help, me, Manfred, and the guys down there are there to help you. Okay. So now that we have figured out Gnoki, hopefully, we'll jump over to the third tutorial, which is the first one to actually do some actual programming. So if we open the third tutorial right here. Oh, wrong file. 003 readme, and we open the preview. We're all having a bit of internet connections issue today, but which is not ideal when the whole premise of what we're doing was based on the fact that we'd used an online editor to smoothen things up. But here we go, hopefully. Okay, so with this third tutorial, we're going to start actually doing some GNO code. So here on the side, we can open 003 q.gno. So these are the instructions. You have this q.gno file, and if you go with your terminal to the 003 tutorial, and you try to run GNO test, as sort of any guide of test-driven development will tell you, this is how you know that you need to fix your code. So what we're doing with this tutorial is implementing FIFO queue. So you push at the end of the queue, and you pop at the top of the queue. This should be pretty much straightforward. It follows pretty much the same code that you would write in regular Go, which I assume you know. If you don't, you can look up on internet how to use append and slicing. And yeah, fool around. Try opening the q.gno file and the corresponding test. So that's qtest.gno, which shows how the queue is actually tested. And yeah, try to get it to work. If you need any help, of course, we're here to help you. Okay, so hopefully we're or more or less done with 3. So the tutorial suggests, some good implementations that good implementation that you can have for both of these are provided here. So if we go here and run this as a test, it will fail. Of course. What did I do wrong? 18. I should have written 18. Line 18. Yes, you're right. Exactly. Thank you. This is the reason why you don't do live coding. But yes. So this is the what we were saying. So after we do this, let's move on to possibly a more interesting tutorial, showing a bit of a complete example of what you can actually do with GNO. So we're gonna switch to tutorial number 4. So 004 readme. Okay, and show preview. Good. 004 guestbook.gno. Okay, so in this tutorial we are going to go forward with the publishing contracts. So as you've seen before, we have on the example website interface, we have some smart contracts which are already set up. The one that you tried before was on our demo boards. So if you go here, you can browse this smart contract, which in GNO we call Realm, on the web. And you can go and browse. You can go and browse it, and see everything it has to offer. Now, if you wanted to know how this works, this rendering thing, you can go here and go look at the source. So what I did was to go on this page and just click on source and look on render.gno. So if in a smart contract, a Realm, there is a render function, the smart contract will know this, and it will be able to render pages depending on the path as well. So what we're going to do with this example we're about to see is that we're going to build a very small guestbook. In case you don't know what that is, it's like when you go to museums and you sign off saying that you've been there. So as you can see here, with this first comment will help you out publishing this smart contract to the chain, and after that you will be able to browse the contract through the browser. So you should have like either a simple browser showing at the top here on Gitpod. If you don't, you can go on the ports page next to the terminal and click on this to visit the website, and you should be able to see this as a web interface, which is rendered through the render document. We've commented this, so you should be able to get a basic understanding of how all of this is working. And after that, I encourage you to follow through with the tutorial on the documentation here. We will also briefly go over later on what how realms work and how they differ from normal Go packages. And yeah, I encourage you to go through with this and to play around. If you want to make any modifications to this smart contract, you will not be able to republish it with this same comment. But what you can do is that you can go here and change the package path to be like guestbook 2, and that will enable you to just copy it to just publish it again, but with a different name. And you will just have to update the URL in your browser to match it. But have fun! All right. So I assume you've had some time to take a look at the fourth tutorial. So after publishing the package, you should be able to then execute the sign function. So this make_tx call func_sign will enable us to add a new signature to the guestbook. So we'll go to our terminal and we'll execute this. And this should allow us to just submit a new signature to the guestbook. So I'm going to switch to the guestbook right here, refresh. Hopefully the internet works, and yes, we have the new signature written by our address. Again, we can sort of see what our address is by doing Gno key list and seeing what addresses we have here. But because we've done this with test 1, then yeah, it will show with that address. One other thing you can do, this of course is just the comment I provided for you for your convenience. However, on the guestbook realm, as well as any other realm that you can find on the Gno.land test nodes or your local development node, you can browse to the help of a realm. You can put in your address name here at the top, and then you can try running any argument, any function, any contract as you wish. So if you wanted to write your own message to put on the guestbook, you could write your own personalized message, and this will generate a comment that you can just copy, go here and paste on your terminal. And after waiting for a while for it to connect to the blockchain and do everything, we will find yet again the new message on the guestbook. I've left some further considerations for you to read through, especially regarding the magic of realms. So as you can see here, we have a global variables that we've declared signatures. This global variable signatures is kind of the heart of our smart contracts, and a crucial way that they are different from Go smart contracts. And the reason for that is that we can define them with having a default value, which was the starting value of the guestbook. So you reach the end of the guestbook, written by Anonymous Coward on 1st of January 2023. But additionally, something we can do is that we can change the value of these signatures when we run a transaction. So you can see here that they are changed with the sign function, which is called using make_tx, and this is recorded into the blockchain. So the data that is stored in the global variables is blockchain data. It's just what we call the storage. So while in smart contracts you cannot have nice things that you normally can have in Go development, such as file system access or network access, which allow you, we can't simply allow them because they are indeterministic behaviors. So if you run the same function twice on different machines, they could give they could give different results. Maybe the network goes down, or the file system runs out of space. So operations like that fail. So in order to make sure that we have a safe context, we give as an option to the programmer to store all of the data in these global variables. And in many ways, this reflects also to other data structures that we have. For instance, we use in a lot of examples the AVL tree. Oh, no, I meant to do doc, which is a kind of map which is more efficient for many of the uses that we have. But I'm going to show you more about that just in a second. There are some more tasks for you to do on this fourth example. So I added some to-do comments here. So make sure caller hasn't signed the guestbook already, and resolves the address to your username. Now this one is a bit more complicated, but if you need any help, there should be a hint here, and you should be able, hopefully, to do it without struggling too much. If you do let us know. I'm going to give you the contact details after this. After this one, I encourage you home, if the project piqued your interest, to continue further with a fifth challenge example, which is for building a blog. So this one, this one, is just a task description, but I think it's a useful way to get started. And if you do need some help, there are some example resources of already existing examples on the official repository that you can just get inspiration from and get a better idea on how to use to make smart contracts. And again, if all of this sounds interesting to you, we are looking for contributors. We are an entirely an open source project, and everything we do is on this big repository, so Gno.land/Gno on GitHub. Our project is based, like our blockchain will be based on proof of contribution, which is a way to make sure that the chain is continuing to be governed by its contributors, but additionally to reward everyone that contributes to us. Furthermore, if you are interested, we also have right now, we have ongoing the Game of Realms, as well as a grants program that you can always find on our repository. So Game of Realms you can find by going to Issues, then Game of Realms, and you can find all of the information. This has a prize pool of elite number of atoms, so 133,000 atoms. And additionally, there's the grants program. There we go. If you are interested in applying for a Tinkerer, Builder, or Researcher grant, you can find more information here. Aside from that, so I really invite you to take a look at what we're doing and everything. If you like to stay in touch with us, I have a QR code here. This takes to our link tree, so linktr.ee/Gno.land. This will take you to a list of our resources, including our Twitter, and importantly, the Discord server. So on the Discord server, which is starting to have some more activity recently, you can come in and talk about ideas you'd have, or ask about problems that you have implementing GNO code. And additionally, I think the Discord is most useful, but make sure to also check out the repository and everything else. Finally, if you would like to have a kind of a Cosmos version of proof of attendance, we have it available right here. So this will be creds.xyz/Nebular 2023/Gno.land workshop. Of course, that is a lot to remember, so if you want to scan it right away, I have a QR code right here. Sorry, I don't have them, both of them on a single page, but I'll make sure to do this so that you can scan them at your pace. And with that, thank you very much for coming and for staying with us and trying out our project. And you have all the information to stay in touch. And please let us know if you have any further questions. We are still here doing nothing, willing to talk and chat. And with that, have a nice day.